Free stuff. We love it. I love a bargain. I love free stuff. I was walking down the road the other day in my little town here in Raglan, and someone had a basket of lemons out on their driveway and with a little sign that said, "Please take me." And I just took a couple of lemons and I had them on my dinner, and it was awesome. And that sort of stuff is quite beautiful because you get sort of a sense of community. People share the things that they have, and I love that. But there are some things that we shouldn't really get for free because you don't really know what you're getting. And there's a few more reasons as well as that I'm going to share with you today. The temptation when we need to know anything is to instantly Google it, or either Google it or go to YouTube, right? And search the thing that we want to know. And that is fine for if you know a specific question. So if you want to answer to a specific question, for instance, I went on YouTube yesterday to have a look at how to connect my Ethernet cable into my lightning port on my MacBook Pro, okay? That was a very specific question and I needed the answer for. I found a video for it on YouTube, a 5-minute video, the guy was explaining it, and that was great. That was an answer to a problem. And that is fine. I will never discourage that. I do it all the time on YouTube and even just in Google, just scanning articles for an answer that I specifically need right then and there. But when it comes to learning a skill like playing the piano, it starts to get a bit more complicated. And there are a few reasons why. That when we go for free stuff, we're not necessarily choosing a direction. And that choice is what's really important. If you find a teacher that understands your direction, they can put you on that path so that you don't waste time with irrelevant information. So a good teacher will provide the right resources for your specific goals at the right time, and also in the right order. So you're starting from, the beginner stuff and going in the right order through to the next and the next thing. A clear learning path is sadly lacking when you are directing your own learning. So if you are piecemealing bits of free content together, then you are not necessarily doing things that will all take you into a specific goal, and you are not necessarily doing things in order. And that can be a real killer for your motivation. If you do find a full curriculum, full learning path that has wholly been offered for free, no catch, right? And send me a link if you do, because I haven't found one. The thing is that you don't know how reliable that is. If someone is offering it completely for free, they don't want any remuneration, you have to ask yourself why. I have a formal education. I have a music degree. I have a lifetime of playing and performing the piano and developing all these skills. And so I have to be paid for to be able to spend my time doing this, for one thing, but also because I've spent a lot of time and money to gain those skills and also qualifications. I have a degree in music, and I have grade 8 solo piano from back when I studied classical piano, and have had a career in music publishing. So you know that this is coming from an educated standing point, right? When something is completely for free and someone just goes, "Hey, here's all my videos," there's no responsibility. If they're not getting paid, you can't ask for a refund if you don't learn the thing that you wanted to learn. If it's a free program, you could spend 6 months to a year or longer studying that free program and get to the end and be like, "Oh, I didn't learn what I wanted to learn." Tough cookies, so there's no consumer guarantee because you are not paying for it. The third thing that I want to go over is willpower. There's this weird thing with our money that when we put money into something, we want to get the value out of it. None of us want to waste money. Money is precious. Time is precious, and often we will not want to spend time on something unless we've also spent money on it. When we put money into something, we're saying to our brain, this is important to me because I worked hard for this money, and now I'm going to spend it on something that brings me joy, and I'm going to make sure that I get my money's worth out of it by doing the actual course, by doing the work, by putting the practice in, because I've already spent this money. And sometimes when something is free, we tend to not care about it so much. Oh, it's not it's not a waste if I don't do the video that I downloaded, because there's no value in it, because I haven't put any value in it, okay? When we pay for something, our brain goes, this is important to me. So that's something to think about. And willpower is certainly so important when we're learning the piano, because it's a long journey and it takes a lot of work and it's not the easiest thing in the world. So we do need motivation from someone that's excited to encourage us about the piano. And we also need to have made a commitment with our money, with our brain, so that we have that willpower to do something, to really decide to do something. But also, when you know what a specific question is you need an answer to, of course, find that online. If you're like, what's the C major scale again? I can't remember. Google it and it'll come up with it immediately on the screen. If you want to remember what's in the key of G major, can't remember, that's a Googleable thing. Googleable? Learning a skill is a bit more complicated. So that's where we're drawing the line. The world of the internet has so much wicked information on it, but it's not necessarily going to guide you towards your specific goals as a pianist. Okay, and if you do have some goals as a pianist, and those goals involve either wanting to learn the basics of piano, wanting to learn how to improvise on the piano, wanting to learn how to riff, so be able to riff from just out of nowhere, just riff. If you want to learn to riff, which is what that was, if you want to learn how to play from a lead sheet. So a lead sheet is basically lyrics and chords. So you can learn to, when you can read a lead sheet and expand on it, then you can literally find any chord sheet of any song that you want to learn and be able to play it so much faster than if you were to read sheet music. So if that's a goal, if your goal is to play by ear, or if your goal is songwriting, if your goals are any of those things, then you need to come into the Creative Pianist membership. Remember to play it like you mean it. And if you have any questions for me, make sure you put them in the comments or send me a message to the Piano Picnic page. I will be happy to